Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning, contest master.
Crystal Storms, 3 strikes. 3 strikes, Crystal Storms.
Why did I have to miss school that day? Of all the days to be out sick, I was out on the day we picked which gym elective to take. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. After 9 weeks of driver's ed, we could choose between weightlifting and aerobics. The choice was obvious. I thought in my absence, Mr. Rush would sign me up for aerobics. He didn't. He signed me up for the class he taught. I think he regretted that. 2 other girls signed up on purpose, and I could see why, surrounded by all those weightlifting boys, but it soon became clear weightlifting was not for me. We started by learning the equipment. First up were squats. There was a chart on the wall displaying the strongest lifters in the school. To try it out, we needed to wear the right equipment. Mr. Rush directed each student to strap on one of the belts hanging from around the room. I tried them on, none fit. And in case you get the wrong idea, they were all too big. Mr. Rush cut a notch in the smallest one. That was his first clue. Things might not be easy with me in his class. It didn't take long working with all that equipment that my arm started to hurt. I told my mom, and she insisted I wrap it up. That was her normal solution. Any complaint, let's wrap it up. Growing pains, let's wrap it up. I explained that to Mr. Rush when I walked in with my arm in an ace bandage, but he still freaked out. Said an accident report had to be filed and I should let him know right away if something hurt. Strike one. Now, I know I'm combining weightlifting with baseball terms, but weightlifting doesn't have a lot of terms. I checked. I dressed in the locker room with all my friends from aerobics. They had to cross the hall to get to class. I had to go down the hall, past the boys' locker room and the courtyard entrance to get to class. The third time I was late, Mr. Rush handed me a piece of paper and sent me to the office. I explained the situation to the vice principal and he sent me back. Strike two. My favorite piece of equipment was the leg press. I could press more than anyone else in class. Well, the same as that one boy and none of the lifters from the wall were in my class, but still. In fact, I still use that same technique to move furniture. I lie on my back and press it across. It's below the center of gravity, so I don't have to remove that much. Win-win. I read an article a few years back that said the leg press was one of the most useless pieces of gym equipment. The one I was good at. However, that article writer apparently never saw me moving furniture. My legs are strong, my arms, not so much. We went around to the different pieces of equipment in groups of 4. So I laid on the bench with a spotter on each side and one behind me. For each person, weights were either added or subtracted based on strength. I started with 55 pounds. That's what Julie had lifted. The 55-pound bar wouldn't budge. They removed the weights, so it was only the collars. The 50-pound bar was still too heavy. They removed the collars, so it was only the bar. This was my last chance. I was doing it. I just needed a little extra strength, so I lifted my leg. Instead of going up, I went down, past 3 spotters, straight to the ground. No one was injured, but that was it. Strike 3. Mr. Rush said I had to spend the rest of the quarter working in the corner on the total gym. I moved the pens and worked with the pulleys and counted the days until I could return to aerobics. But I made the best of it and worked on toning. 3 things I learned from that experience. 1, weakness is strength. Though my arms aren't strong, my legs are sometimes able to compensate, and it's okay to ask for help. 2, margin brings peace. I learned to leave the locker room before my friends in aerobics to get to my own class on time. And 3, I can make the best of a situation I don't choose, and I may even end up with a story to tell. Contest chair.
Thank you, Crystal.